I'm writing a book, and I'm going to show you how I created my outline in this video. So far in past videos, which you can check out right here on the Waves Business Coaching YouTube channel, I've covered why I'm writing my book, how I got started, how I created my mind map, and how I refined my mind map down so that I can get ready to make my outline. When I finished my mind map, I ended with 10 ideas or topics, or in this case, chapters for my book. So each chapter idea had a story or two that supported the main idea for the chapter. Each chapter idea had a 3-step plan for how to accomplish my vision for that topic, for that chapter. And each of those 10 chapters have been vetted through my filters of what's my main idea, who is my primary audience for this book, and what problem am I solving for my audience. So each chapter idea was relevant to the book and solved a problem for my reader. So I had my 10 ideas. Now I really need to get these down and structured into an outline for my book. So the outline, again, the goal was to make writing easy. So I needed a clear outline, a clear structure so that I could easily start on and finish my rough draft. But I had a problem. I really didn't know how to structure my chapters so that they were easy to read and easy to take action from. I've read plenty of leadership, business, self-help books in this category, but not all of them are structured the exact same. So I didn't know what structure to go with that would work best for my audience, and I needed a clear structure so that my book was easy to follow and prompts my reader to take action. That was really important to me. I want this book to have an impact on young people, so it needs to be easy to follow and easy to prompt them to take action. Luckily, I knew how to structure the story side of the chapter. So I'm a Business Made Simple certified coach, and Business Made Simple was kind of born out of the StoryBrand world from Donald Miller. And StoryBrand is the best way to tell a story. So for each chapter, I tell a story about my journey in my first job and a lesson that I learned at my first job. And again, being around Business Made Simple and StoryBrand, I'm just going to use the 7 ancient storytelling principles that have been working for centuries. And those 7 parts are: a character or a hero wants something. 2, they have a problem. Something gets in their way of, what they want. 3, they meet a guide who can help them solve that problem. The guide gives them a plan, step 4. And the guide calls them to action, step 5. And step 6, the hero either succeeds, or step 7, the hero fails. Think about Star Wars. Luke Skywalker wants to become a Jedi character. Problem, he doesn't know how to become a Jedi, and he's facing an evil empire that's preventing him from success. Guide, he meets Obi-Wan, a Jedi master. He's been there, done that. 4, Obi-Wan gives him a plan. He teaches him how to use the Force. 5, Obi-Wan calls him to action. He tells Luke to use the Force. And that story is going to end in a success. 6, Luke either blows up the Death Star and defeats the Empire, or failure. The Empire crushes the rebellion and destroys their base. Most stories, a lot of movies, follow the same exact structure because it's ancient. It's been working for centuries of how to tell stories. So this is how I was going to tell my stories in each chapter, but I still needed structure for the chapter itself. So each chapter wasn't just a story. It was a story mixed with an action item and a plan of how to accomplish the topic or the chapter, my main goal for the chapter. I'll give you an example. The first chapter of my book is how to take advantage of unexpected opportunities. So there's a story that goes along with that, but then I wanted to make sure I gave you a clear plan of here's how to take advantage of unexpected opportunities. And again, I needed it to flow well so that my reader, it's easy to follow and it's easy to take action. I needed a chapter structure. So I looked at a lot of different leadership books that I like from authors that I like, and here's what I landed on that's going to work best for my book. My chapters are structured like this. So I have my intro, I have my story. I will then break in the middle of the story to give the plan. Here's how to accomplish this chapter. I'll then come back to the story I will give very clear next steps and then a transition into the next chapter. So here's what that looks like. Introduction, the topic is introduced with a quote. So I found some quotes from influential people that I love and that introduced the topic for me. Then I began my story. So following the story brain structure, I started with the hero, the character has a want, they have a problem. I then broke there to give the plan. So Meet the Guide and has a plan, part of the story brand framework. I broke away from my story to say, hey, now I'm writing to you, the reader. Here's the plan, a straightforward plan of how to accomplish the technique or lesson we're talking about for this chapter. After the plan, I then go back to the story and I finish the story showing how the hero, the character, used the plan to have success, or in a couple cases, didn't use the plan and had failure. So after that, I have very clear next steps. It says your next steps, and it's 3 bullet points. 1, 2, 3. Here's exactly what you need to do after reading this chapter to accomplish this. And then a transition to recap the chapter and a nice lead in into the next topic, into the next chapter for the book. Using this structure, I created my outline, which is here on my Remarkable, and my outline was very structured. It included much more detail than my mind map, but it was still an outline. It's easy to follow though, and it made my writing later extremely simple and very easy. I made sure to include enough detail to get me going writing, but not too much where I started writing my rough draft while making my outline. After outlining each of the 10 chapters in the book, I used a different structure to write out the outline for the introduction and the conclusion. You'll be able to see this in the book when it comes out later this year, and the intro and the conclusion for the book. In my next video, I'm going to talk about writing my first draft of the book. I'll also, in the next video, officially announce the title of my book. If you'd like to know the book's title ahead of time and help me develop and decide on a subtitle, click the book updates link below in the episode description. I will immediately send you an email with the book's title and a link to vote on the subtitle. You'll also be able to stay up to date on the book, including opportunities to get a free advanced e-copy of the book before its release. Thank you so much for following me on this journey. Take care.